Hey there guys, Darryl Griffiths here for Jumpcut Online. I hope you're all well. A belated Happy New Year to you all. I hope you're all excited for the feast of cinema that awaits in 2020. I'm sure you've all got your own individual lists that you've compiled and films that you're really keen to see. I'm sure we'll all share them over film, Twitter and Facebook, etc. In the coming weeks. The first film that I'm going to tackle today is And Then We Danced. I've not long gone back from a press screening put on by Peccadillo Pictures this evening, turning 20 years this year. Much love to you all. Thank you for all the great LGBTQ plus and world cinema that you provided over the last 20 years. Thank you very much. And Then We Danced is from director Levan Akin. It has already caused a huge stir in its home country of Georgia, where screenings of the film took place in Tbilisi, and far-right groups ended up clashing with fellow queer people within the region who went along to the screenings peacefully and didn't expect the tirade of abuse that they were subjected to. The film is thankfully shining a light on the underrepresentation and protection, really, of LGBTQ rights in Georgia. And if anything, cinema, for me, I've always deemed it a powerful tool for change and to expand the scope and push the narrative forward, and I think Levan Akin has very much done that with And Then We Danced. The film itself is an exhilarating, intense depiction of Georgian dance. I went in alien as far as Georgian dance and what it entails. It's all that I could gather from the trailer is that it was very regimented and not very fluid or elegant that you'd get from, say, contemporary dance, for example. Not that I'm going all Bruno Tonioli on you and going all flailing arms like that. But the two leads, Levan Gelbakhiani and Bachi Valishvilli, they are embroiled in this intense rivalry that is spurred on by the fact that they're both trying to get into the main company of this Georgian dance company. And they are very contrasting styles. Lee Gelbakhiani's character, he's so used to his female partner, he doesn't want to break that. It's such a strong bond between them. And then this young upstart in Bachi Valishvilli's character comes storming in and completely changes his perspective on things. And it's very much a coming of age trajectory for Levan's character Mirab. And they just find ways to push each other's buttons, but the romance that blossoms between them is so raw, it's stiflingly intimate in how it's all captured by Levan Akin, and it is an engrossing watch literally from the word go. The dance sequences are sublime, I have to say. They are, I don't know whether it was budget constraints or what, but Levan Akin keeps it very close to the characters, almost if he's like on their shoulders as they move, and it's edited impeccably in terms of the sharp movements and these deep knee lunges on the do, and you know, on the balls of their feet, and it's so visceral. It reminded me of like Black Swan and that feverish quality of, say, Whiplash, which is high compliments, I know, but it definitely really gave off that feverish quality that those films provided, and just how visceral the movements are, and with obviously not going into complete full-blown horror territory, more like the horror here is how the society treats them. But thankfully, it's not very heavy-handed in that regard. There's obviously the moments that pepper the film in terms of how badly treated Levan and Bachi's characters are treated. Especially the teachers of Georgian dance, they're almost tyrannical. They're so regimented, almost they remind me of something that I had in like Army Cadets when I was like 16. Where like you just can't break that strict, hard body feel of masculinity. You can't have any sign of weakness or, you know, anything free flowing. It has to be like sharp, and you must do this and you must do that, and that is the feeling that you get. So to see the characters lose their inhibitions, break out from that, and this outdated idea of masculinity, whether it's through dance or just how they show their affections towards one another is just superb. And the way that it's shot beyond the dance sequences, the use of natural light, there's like a gorgeous like blood orange tinge so many of the sequences, and some of the musical cues in this are just awesome. I think Levan Akin is from Sweden, so as a slither of ABBA, which, being a Mamma Mia fan, thank you. And particularly the most talked about one already is the use of a Robin track. I'm not going to say which one it is because I know guys love Robin very much, so I'm not going to say what the track is, but the musical cues in this just accentuate the intensity and the youthful exuberance that these characters have and slowly discover about themselves, and to see it in full flow and show a real sense of defiance in the wake of how society treats them and the way the teachers are on their backs all the time and, you know, trying to stick to tradition, and where ultimately to push the envelope forward you have to break out of these strict ideas and concepts, whether it's through dance, whether it's through society, whether it's this idea of masculinity and femininity and being very gender fluid, which I think particularly in dance, that is what is, for me, is what I find really attractive, the way that you can bend the rules of that, or the so-called rules of sexuality and, you know, gender conformity. The way it sort of navigates that is fantastic. And just as a pure gay romance, it doesn't dwell on the negative aspects that they encounter. It's full on positivity from the off, and I loved it for that. And the way their families interact with them, it's so matter-of-factly. There's no grand inquisitions about how these characters behave and are, you know, are so intertwined and interlinked together. It's just a wonderful, wonderful film, and I'm so glad it's my first film of the year. I could not have asked for a better film to start. And there's just so many sequences that stand out already. I'm going to reference one other shot that it's a tracking sequence. There's like a big family gathering. I'm not going to say what it completely entails, but I think it encapsulates the strength and the weakness that would engulf these characters normally. But the way Levan Akin shoots it from behind the characters and slowly works their way through, it's like a gentle sway almost of like a first dance at a wedding, and the way they navigate these feelings, and it's very much a slow burner for them in that case. And I think the way that particular sequence ebbs and flows is just, oh, chef's kiss, as we like to call it at Jumpcut. And then we dance to just, to me, it's sensational. I really hope it finds an audience. I'll certainly be banging down the door at work to get it screened at our workplace. I am desperate to see it again already. Levan Akin, I would love to pick your brain sometime about the film and the way you shot this, because it's just fantastic. And I'm sure it wasn't easy in terms of production, considering where you were shooting this. I'm sure you've had to go through some hardships to get this made, so much love to you. It is a fantastic film, and I really hope you'll seek it out when it's out on the 13th of March here in the UK. So that is a wrap on my first video review of 2020, by the time I put this out anyway, because I'm under embargo until the week of UK release. Jumpcut, of course, like our Facebook page, Twitter at Jumpcut_online. We've got our Patreon page that's running, where you can sign up for our 3 levels of membership. And we're really trying to reach certain targets at the moment, so we can keep providing great content for yourselves, whether it's the festivals or just general written reviews and video reviews and so forth. And the website, of course, to check out everything involved with Jumpcut Online, www.jumpcutonline.co.uk. For now, I've been Darryl Griffiths. Great catching up with you all. Hope you've enjoyed the video review of And Then We Danced, and I will speak to you soon, guys. Take care and bye-bye for now. See you later.